Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with my FNS-9 Longslide version, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the Fabrique Nationale. I want to talk about this awesome striker-fired firearm and talk to you about why I purchased it and what I think about it. So Fabrique Nationale had the FNX series. Those were hammer-fire, double-action, single-action firearms, and they wanted to compete against Smith & Wesson's M&P series, against the Glock series, and wanted to get a gun that would compete for police contracts, but also get into that market for the home defense, conceal and carry market. So in 2012, they released this. They had this one, which is the Longslide, which is going to be kind of size of the Glock 17. They had the regular FNS-9, which had maybe a Glock 19 sized slide with a Glock 17 sized frame. And in 2018, they released the FNS-9C, which would be something comparable to a Glock 26. It's going to have a 10-round mag capacity. Again, it's polymer frame, it's steel slide, steel barrel, and again, it's the striker fired system. They came with 3-dot white sights, but they did have upgraded models that actually had night sights available. One of the cool things about FN is when you got the gun, you had 2 interchangeable back straps, but you also had 3 magazines, which was a huge deal on the market. No other manufacturers at the time were giving you 3 mags right out of the box. FN is known through their history. You know, they partnered with John Moses Browning. They were the first company that came out with a high power. They came out with really good quality products, and they wanted to make sure that they didn't mess up their name with this. And you can see it in the quality. Let's go over the specs with this particular one. Again, this is the Longslide version. It has an overall length of 8.25 inches. The barrel is 5 inches in length. The width is 1.35 inches. The height is 5.5 inches, and the weight comes in at 26.5 inches. Sorry, 26.5 ounces. When you feel it, the grip angle, the overall ergonomics of it are great. It's a natural pointer. It does have ambidextrous slide stop, slide release, and ambidextrous mag release. So you can hit it with your thumb or your index finger on the other side. It is maybe not the most intuitive mag release, but it is definitely very, very functional. Let's show you how you take it down for cleaning and maintenance. So you just go ahead and rack the slide back, and then you just move the takedown lever down, drop the slide, pull the trigger, and the slide comes right off. You do have a captive recoil spring, which is nice. And then you have a very nice high quality barrel. Now I just literally got this from the range, so you can see it's good and dirty. I really did shoot it. The rifling is of high quality. You can see that it locks up here at the top. It's just a really good, well-made firearm. Reassembly is just the same thing in reverse. Go ahead and put the slide on top of the frame. The frame rails are a little bit longer than some of the other guns that you will see on the market, which I think is really nice. When I first got into guns, this was the gun. I loved FN. I loved the history that I really wanted to run. And to be completely honest with you, I did not have as much success with this as I did with the Smith & Wesson M&P series, and not nearly as much success as I did with the H&K VP series. So when I saw this at the gun show, it was at a good price. I wanted to run it again because, you know, I have had a lot more practice with firearms. I've done a lot more training with firearms, and I wanted to see how I did with it. And I was really impressed with this firearm. It shot really well. I had to get used to the trigger. The trigger is not the best trigger on the market. It is there's a little bit of slop in it, a little bit of grit to it. But you know what? After I probably put 20 or 30 rounds through it at the range, I really found and could get really good with how that trigger broke, and I got really pretty accurate with it. This is a target that I had at 10 yards. Actually, it was this way. I was shooting a little to the left today. That's 5 bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is all the accuracy you're ever going to need. I measured that out. That's an 1 3/4 group that I held at 10 yards. So that's really pretty good. They did replace this series with the 509 series And I do like the 509. You can go ahead and check out my video on the 509. But if you were at a gun show and this was really a good price, $350, $400, $450, and you like the way it feels, I definitely think that you could do a lot worse than this. This is a really solid firearm. When I was at the range, I didn't have a single misfire, misfeed, no stovepiping, no nothing, and it felt really, really good in the hand to shoot. I will tell you this tang on here on the back is a little wide, so it rubbed my thumb just a hair. Not, again, a deal breaker. But if you see this and you just like the way it looks, I'm telling you, this is an awesome firearm, and I really enjoyed it. If somebody said to me, I'm thinking about picking this FNs-9, I would say you're picking out a great firearm. Some people are a little bit upset about the texture. It's almost like the UGD said, it's almost like a porcupine. I think it gripped really well into the hand. I will tell you, if you were going to carry this, conceal and carry inside the waistband, you're definitely going to want a t-shirt, because that is going to rub the muffin top just a little bit. So something to think. Now, obviously, the Longslide isn't going to be the best gun to carry concealed anyway, although I guess, you know, that extra distance between the front and rear sight is going to give you a little bit of extra accuracy. That might not be the worst thing to carry. Just you're going to need some baggy pants with it. So I do want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. All the likes, the comments, the shares are really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.
I learned a lesson. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.